Russia has always, back, of course, obviously, to Soviet times, had an interest in the Korean Peninsula. North Korea is an old ally, but it's not clear whether Russia is, in fact, supporting a peace process generally in Korea, that is, supporting North Korea in forging peace with the U.S., or whether it's simply attempting to assert its influence, or perhaps even to slow the peace process. Russia's relations with the United States, even despite Trump's attempts at rapprochement, have been frosty for several years. So Russia has an obvious motive to encourage Kim to slow or even halt any peace process with the United States. What I thought was interesting was that they did say that they wanted to encourage peace between North and South Korea, because by doing that, it would suggest one possibility is that Russia wants to encourage peace specifically between the two Koreas, which would in turn drive a wedge between South Korea and the United States. So it's not 100% clear what Russia wants exactly.
Right.
It definitely has an interest.
Yeah. I mean, North Korea is arguably more of Russia's backyard than even the United States. So we could further witness power dynamics playing out here between the U.S. and Russia over North Korea.
Yes, I mean, one of the constants in Russian foreign policy since the fall of the Soviet Union has been this concern about what they call the near abroad, about the countries that were formerly part of the Soviet Union or which had joined the Soviet Union. So Russia maintains a really deep concern, a rather defensive concern, about areas that are on or near its frontiers. And there is a very small Russian-North Korean border. So I think one thing we can definitely say for sure is that Russia is signaling that it is a player that must be consulted, that will be involved in whatever happens in the Korean Peninsula. Yeah. What its long-term plans are harder to decipher at this point.
Right. I mean, I heard another analyst say that there are such massive business interests here for Russia that that's actually more of what we're seeing play out here. But I mean, what is your instinct telling you, knowing the dynamics in the region? What do you think will play out here?
Regarding I mean, I hesitate to say, to make any predictions in the long term regarding, say, the summit. I think there's a lot of will on all sides for that summit to go forward, regardless of kind of the verbal aggression between North Korea and the United States. I think that Trump, whose presidency relies heavily on performance, especially in the media, wants this summit so he can portray himself, can perform the role of statesman. I think Kim Jong-un is also trying to portray himself as a sort of responsible member of the international community for a variety of reasons. I think both sides, or at the very least, elements on both sides are willing to consider peace. So I think the talks will continue for some time. The question really is, what concessions are the United States and North Korea really willing to make? Will the diplomacy between Pyongyang and Seoul end up diverging from that between Pyongyang and Washington? And what role will China and Russia take? Will they attempt to block peace because that threatens more U.S. involvement? Will they attempt to assist peace because they want stability?
Okay.
Will they attempt? All of these questions are kind of, it makes it hard to have a longer-term approach. But short-term, I think the summit will eventually happen.
Okay, Ben Margulies, thank you very much for joining us with your insight there from London.